She has kidnapped every single member of this family.
Oh my God, they're all trapped.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Awesomely Awful, where we break down bad movies and how badly we love them. Today on the couch, Sean and I are joined by Vic Michaelis.
I want on the record, I don't think this is a bad movie. I think this is a misunderstood
Right
movie.
off the bat.
Immediately?
I don't think this is a bad movie. I think this is a misunderstood movie. And I'm going to take meetings. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to let these people know I think that this movie was actually pretty great.
I'm so happy you're taking this stance off the bat.
Yeah, me too.
I'm way more excited now.
Speaking of which, we watched Holiday in Handcuffs.
Yep.
Holiday in Handcuffs is this movie that perfectly marries a rom-com with like Stockholm Syndrome.
Sure.
Could you almost call it stockingholm syndrome?
I wouldn't. It is so interesting because going into this, I really thought this was going to be like a Hallmark-esque movie.
It's very ABC Family in the 2000s.
Is it?
It is an ABC Family movie.
No way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
With this combined star power of these two, this was the most highly rated ABC Family movie that ever came out.
You're kidding.
No, it had 6.7 million viewers when it first aired.
What's the matter with you people?
So our main character, Trudy, aka Little Pootie from the corner.
It's me, little Pootie from the corner.
She's having a horrible day. It's 2 days before Christmas, having an awful day. She's late to a job interview her dad set up, and her boyfriend dumps her.
Yeah.
She was going to introduce her boyfriend to her family. But the thing is, it's so important to her to bring somebody home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like her parents are almost demanding this of her. Mm-hmm. So she does what any normal, rational person would do.
Sure.
Which is take the old gun that's in the back of your diner and kidnap Mario Lopez.
This plan doesn't seem very well thought out.
They really set it off as a Chekhov's gun in the beginning, too, I have to add, by being like, man, our boss wants to sleep with me, and I told him if he tries to do that again, I'm going to take that antique gun that's in the corner and shoot him in the face.
The next part of her plan, once she kidnaps him, is to take him to the family, and obviously he's going to be like, hey, she kidnapped me. So what she does is she goes into the house early and says, when he's nervous, he kind of does this thing where he pretends like he's kidnapped.
Well, sometimes when Nick feels awkward in a social situation, he does this whole, I didn't want to be here, I've been kidnapped thing.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works so well.
It would work on me.
This woman held me at gunpoint, kidnapped me, and brought me to this house as her hostage.
What's so crazy to me is that they're so desperate for her to have somebody that they're like, oh, this guy that every time he gets a whiff of like cortisol, adrenaline or whatever, like he's gonna start like pretending like he's kidnapped. Like, yeah, if it means you have somebody home for Christmas, I guess. It's nuts.
And it's so important that you have somebody for Christmas. But then like 5 minutes later, her brother and sister show up and the mom turns to the brother and is like, where's Jen? Where's your girlfriend? And he's like, well, she has to work. She's back at the city. And the mom's like, okay.
No problem.
No problem. This thing that like has driven Melissa Joan Hart to kidnap somebody meant nothing to the mom.
But yeah, there's no stakes.
No stakes.
Absolutely no stakes.
Immediately.
You know, the movie could be set up where both the brother and the sister are in like what is seemingly perfect relationships.
Yeah.
But as the movie unfolds, we see that they're not. Instead, it's just like, oh yeah, we didn't bring a date. Okay. Well, I kidnapped someone. I must have missed the memo this year. I thought we all said we had to bring somebody.
And Melissa Joan Hart isn't the only one that has to make plans in this. Of course, Mario Lopez also has to make plans at this point. And of course, his first plan is to do less than I've ever seen anybody do to try and get unkidnapped.
Yeah.
Thank you, that's very kind.
He doesn't try and hurt anybody. He doesn't like run away. He doesn't do anything that a normal person would do when they get kidnapped.
A man comes outside of the gas station and at no point is he like,
Hey!
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 He's just politely sitting with a blindfold.
His plan does kind of turn once he does get a phone. he calls his girlfriend that he has.
Instead of the police.
Instead of the police, he calls his girlfriend to get the police. And at this point, he's set. He's like, you know what? They'll get here when they get here. He's not that concerned. And now his plan is to pretend to be the best boyfriend ever so that when he is saved, it's so much more embarrassing for Trudy.
I'm gonna be the best boyfriend ever, and your parents are gonna fall in love with me.
It's one of those moments in a movie where the character has to address how bad of a plot point it is. She's like, why would you do that? It's like, yeah, why would you do that?
This plan doesn't seem very well thought out.
So the genre of this movie is fighting for its life against the premise that's been set up here.
Yes.
Does it work?
Yes. Perfectly.
Perfectly. What the movie asks you to do is that every single moment that Mario Lopez is going through this horrifying experience of being abducted, the movie's asking you like, hey, but isn't this kind of cute though? And isn't this like fun actually? You're forgetting that this is adorable.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Sorry.
This is also coming at a time period, I think, where it's like everything is adorkable, right? And so it's like she's handcuffed him, but she's handcuffed him with a scarf that she hand knit. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, cute.
Their meet cute is her pulling a gun on him. Aww. That's the meet cute of the rom-com.
Just is so crazy too, because if you know anything, fun fact, we're all black belts. If you know anything about self-defense, it is that you, as soon as you're in a situation of any kind of danger, the first thing you do, first move, is you make as much noise as humanly possible. The fact that he is in a crowded diner with a gun pointed at him, and at no point is he like, hey guys, I'll take the check and maybe this gun out of my face. You know what I mean? Like, at no point are we saying that to anybody.
Totally. I wrote down, this is the calmest kidnapping of all time.
She takes him outside to get into her car at gunpoint, but he slips and knocks himself unconscious, and her reaction is like, of course, this would happen to me. The one time I try to abduct someone, they slip and knock themselves out.
It's also the greatest slip and fall of all time.
Brilliant.
Oh my God.
For the love of God!
What a wild move.
What a full.
He's doing a Dancing with the Stars move.
It's a move.
It's athletic.
Another example of this where it's like, okay, I get what you're trying to make me feel, but I can't help but remember the reality of the situation, is him trying to get a cell phone and her smashing it to bits in front of him. So imagine you are fighting for your life. You are hostage, and you're like, I need a phone so bad, and she smashes it in front of you. But
Terrifying.
It's kind of cute and fun.
It's so violent because you're totally right. It's like if you were to write this out bullet point by bullet point like both of you have, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
This entire movie predicates on the idea that like they're like, she's gonna do that? Her? She's gonna do that?
Look how silly her hair is.
Sabrina? The teenage witch? Clarissa?
She knows that all.
There's no way.
You want to do one? Just tell them to subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Horny side characters. We decided to highlight some actors that had between 1 and 8 lines, just to be the horniest people on the planet.
Hi.
There is a gas station attendant who, again, is just so horny. If this were a horror movie, this would be the point where he's like, don't go up there.
Right.
But at this point instead, it's sort of played for comedic effect.
Oh, what's going on here, sweetheart?
Well, that's my boyfriend. I'm surprising him with a weekend in the woods. You know, the wild kind of weekend, the tie me up, tie me down kind.
Yeah, you better come with me, young lady.
Oh, I really don't have time.
They have lotto tickets, they have cigarettes, and
The titular handcuff.
These are on the house, honey.
Just giving them away.
Well, you better watch out or I'll come back for you next.
Oh, he loves that.
Loved it.
He loved that.
He loved it. He's praying she comes back.
Yeah. Well, so okay, now I have a second one. This is a small but mighty scene, sort of as we touched on earlier. He's in the bathroom, he's got the cell phone, and he's like, get me out of here. He calls his girlfriend's mom.
Yes.
Right.
And is like, get me on the phone with Jessica. I need to get out of here. And then we have a maid or an attendant to this mom who gives a objectively kind of a normal line, the horniest line read, in a way that I'm just like, yeah, you're a star.
Let me get Jessica for you, darling. Jessica!
No, Mrs. Barber, wait.
Maria? Maria! Ah! Oh no, Mrs. Barber. Not again.
Incredible. Come
Amazing!
on. Oh no, Mrs. Barber. Not again.
And that's her only line.
And that's her only line in the entire thing. I'm absolutely obsessed. The fact that she's like sort of like playing this cat and mouse game. They have like clearly like a relationship.
Oh.
I am obsessed. She's like just topping it down just to watch her fall so that way she can help her back up again. Tell me your knees wouldn't buckle if somebody went, oh no, Mrs. Barber. Not again.
Okay.
Horniest movie, horniest Christmas movie. I feel pretty strongly about that.
Yeah.
Horny
Yeah.
for the handcuff days.
Horny for the handcuff day.
Yeah. Horny day in handcuffs.
A horny day in horn cuffs. On top of Mount Horny.
All covered in cuffs. So Trudy seems to have the brain of a child, at least throughout the most of this movie. My theory is that her perm overcooked her brain in a way where it regressed her mentally to the state of a child.
Chemical poisoning.
Yeah. In that moment where she like snaps and they do like a montage of the diner thing spinning with tickets on it.
The
like,
kids snarfing down
Yeah.
ice cream.
That's actually like a magic moment. Like lightning hit the diner and her brain turned to a child.
So this actually is my big theory on this, was that something happens to her and she like dies in that moment. Because it's so centered around her and everything works out perfectly for her and nobody really fights her on anything.
Oh my God, you're so right.
And so my thought is that exactly. It's
Yes.
You took child route and I was like, oh, she is in a coma.
She fully turns into like little Pootie from the corner is what she reverts back to for like
What
the
is
next.
this a reference to?
It's this movie.
Mr. Portnoy, it's me, little Pootie from the corner.
Little Pootie from the corner, of course.
So some support for her going fully mentally little Pootie is that she has no understanding of consequences. Like never once is she like, oh my God, I'm actually f***ed and like I did
You're
something
so right.
that I'm going to like have to suffer the consequences of forever.
This also like so speaks to comedy of this era, I think, which has like bled into maybe some of the rationalization for this for me, which is people being like, I'm not like that, and people know I'm not like that, so I can do that. Where it's like, I'm just a guy like hanging. My apartment is bad.
Once
Like,
people get to know me, they'll
yeah,
know that I'm not
I'm not
really.
like that. I can't go to jail for this. For kidnapping this guy? No, I'm like, it's me.
I'm not crazy. I'm a long way from crazy. Doing one crazy thing does not make a person crazy.
Another moment where you're just like, you are not acting like you have an adult's brain right now is when her hostage starts getting more attention than her and it really starts to bother her. They ask Mario to put the star on the tree and she's like, wait, what? Star on the tree? But Dad, don't you remember when you would hold me up?
Dad used to hold me up to the top of the tree and I was so cute up there.
No, honey, you don't be selfish.
That is madness.
Dad, it's my thing.
Another example is they ask Mario Lopez to read The Night Before Christmas, and then she's just had it. Once she storms off, I really appreciate Mario's reaction to the situation.
And I was wondering if maybe you would like to do the honors?
Okay, Pootie's gonna lose it.
Wow. Okay.
That's it. I've had enough.
He's her hostage.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you? Hey, kidnapper, what's going on?
You're supposed to be having a great time. You kidnapped me. Now we're not having fun anymore? throw a tantrum of like, that's it. Walk upstairs, him to be alone with her family, and to not be like, okay, guys, I'm trapped here. Like, for just so you know, I know I've said it a couple times. It's not a joke. Instead, he's like, I better check on her. So another situation where she's acting like little pootie again is that they're a cute idea having to write little like Christmas lists of what they want for Christmas and a fun way for them to flirt, but takes a more serious turn.
Let me see yours. Tiki lights, Chinese teapot, stop disappointing my parents.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my.
The funniest part of this to me is that I feel like they write the list to give to her parents.
100%.
So she's
Passive
right.
aggressive. This is maybe such a hot take. What if she has kidnapped every single member of this family into this situation right now? It, I think, is the only thing that makes sense, right? That like one by one she has at one point brought members to this family.
And they all have Stockingholm syndrome at this point.
Yes.
Which is why the dad is terrified when he grabs the wheel earlier on.
Yes.
He's like, no, we're gonna get in trouble. It's why grandma has to drink all the time and tries to escape.
Yes.
I have to spend another entire day trapped with you yahoos. Mama's gonna need a little help. Okay.
Oh my god, it's all coming together,
I
Vic.
think one by
You're
one she
right.
kidnapped people.
Oh my god.
Also, in this family, they have a tradition where somebody holds all the keys and all the phones.
Oh my god, they're all trapped.
The Christmas dinner in this movie is the most eventful Christmas dinner I've ever seen. It starts with Pootie's sister admitting that she dropped out of college and she bought a Pilates studio with the tuition that the parents had been giving her.
Which makes sense because we hinted that she's very limber.
Your sister's very limber.
She is limber.
The only evidence of
Pretty
that story.
limber for a lawyer.
The next admission from the brother leads to my favorite spit take I've ever seen in a movie ever.
I know exactly what you're talking about. This is my favorite part of the movie too. Remember, it's 2007.
Everyone, I want to say something too. I'm gay.
Nothing came out of her mouth.
And drinking from an empty mug. Everybody else has wine and she has an empty mug. It clearly was in the script that she was going to spit her wine out, and then they were like, "It's red, we can't."
And
be
it's too
doing that."
messy.
And it's in the beginning, and there's another spit take coming.
It doesn't end there in terms of the admissions. We then find out that the mom and dad only have sex once a year.
This isn't my world, because if this was my world, I wouldn't have to picture Clint Eastwood just to get through our annual birthday sex!
And finally, the dinner obviously ends with the cops busting down the door, and the family finally learns that little Pootie had kidnapped
I'm not
David
her boyfriend. Spectacular, sensational. I'm obsessed.
And then, of course, the grandma almost shoots a cop, which is incredible.
Yeah, which is great.
And one of the best parts about the end of this movie, post-Christmas dinner, is we cut to 2 months later, Valentine's Day, where she's reading the paper. She finds out that Mario Lopez is engaged and is getting married to Jessica. However, on Valentine's Day, she gets a call saying that her art is going to be featured in a studio a week from Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's actually when the movie ends. This Christmas movie ends the Saturday after the week after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
At this point, why didn't they just kind of keep pushing until we loop all the way back
Back to
around
Christmas.
to Christmas?
Cut back next Christmas.
Cut back next
They've
Christmas.
abducted a baby at gunpoint. It's... She makes a real point of being like, you've probably never seen this before, but I can ice skate. She makes a point of saying how good she is at hockey up top here.
She falls so many times.
This is how we know they're perfect for each other, because he falls at the beginning and she falls over and over and over again here. So you see that, and I think for me, I'm like, oh, she can't ice skate. And then we get this clip, which really made me rethink the entire movie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just remember when you're watching this that he's a hostage.
But you owe me something in return.
What?
A show.
Here we go, my favorite part. Watch her spin.
She's so good. She's too good.
Incredible.
I also love that it's him like longingly gazing at her as she spins at 600 miles an hour.
And because we clearly used a double for this, but we wanted to be like, it's her, we zoomed in on her very blurry face.
Pootie is an artist and a painter, but isn't taken seriously by her family, particularly her dad, who says you have to get a real job. But what she wants to be is a painter. And when Mario stumbles upon her work, he suddenly understands that, well, yeah, she should be a painter. Wait, what is this? Pootie's paintings?
Why are her paintings?
Oh, no! Oh! This one. There's one where they're just completely
Eyes crossed.
eyes crossed, like bug-eyed.
If I were a hostage and I saw that
Yes.
my abductor did these paintings, my Stockholm syndrome would snap in that
Yes.
moment. I'd be like, oh,
Fight or
that's
flight.
oh, that's right. I'm a kid. I've been kidnapped.
And change the music a little bit again.
Oh yeah,
It's
if you
just all of
change
a
the
sudden
music,
it's
this
like-
is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also like, who are these people and why are they depicted in this
Why
way?
haven't we seen these people? And where she said on several occasions she doesn't really know other people and doesn't really have friends, and it's
these
not.
are people that she watches through a window.
They're trapped behind the curtains in Pootie's place right now.
Oh, they're for sure other hostages.
Yeah. Oh, it's her
Such a good
hostage book.
It's her hostage book.
Yeah, this is the moment in Get Out when she sees the. when
Yes,
he
it
sees
does have that vibe. When he's going through the photos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a scene where they're talking, and her character, little Pootie, she always kind of assumed that he was rich, you know, brought up with a silver spoon. His
Oh my
parents did
God.
everything for him. And then he really gives her a 1-2 punch that pulls the rug out from underneath her and how she thought about him.
What about your parents? Wouldn't they have helped you get started?
Yeah, they would have if they had 2 nickels to rub together. They were both school teachers. They died in a car accident when I was 9.
Oh,
Dude, that's such a head on a hat. Like, okay, like, yes, they could be poor, or I guess they could be dead, but like to do it like back to
They're
back.
public school teachers and they're dead. And they got audited by the government, and so all their money is gone. And I actually owe money.
I'm on the hook for it.
When Sean and I and Vic watch
Yeah.
bad movies, we rate them on a scale of -10 to 10.
Yeah.
Where -10 is a movie so bad that it's great, and a 10 is a movie so good that it's great, and a 0 is a movie that is so bad that it's just bad.
Bad.
Yeah. So, Sean, what would you rate this thing?
Okay,
Be
holiday,
honest.
holiday
Be honest.
handcuffs. As soon as
I'm nervous.
the fantastical realism hits, where I feel like she gets Pootie brain, and they go to the cabin, everything that happens there I absolutely love, and I think that we're just cooking. We're cooking with gas from
Yeah.
that moment. There are moments where you just get frustrated that he's not trying to escape harder, and that it just actually bothers me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give Holiday in Handcuffs a -7.5.
Oh, that's pretty great. Vic, what do you think?
10.
+10?
Positive 10?
Perfect movie. No, it's a 10. This is a 10 for me. Positive 10 out of 10.
And you don't have to defend yourself.
And I wasn't planning on it. Perfect film.
I think for similar reasons to Sean, where I just got so bothered by the fact that he wasn't hitting people and running out of there. And the ending is really strange in terms of all the time jumps. And the beginning, I think, is a little bizarre. The middle is like where it's the strongest. For all those reasons, I'm going to give this a -6. Great job. That was very
Oh,
fun.
hey, thanks. What a fun
Yeah, thanks for doing the show.
podcast.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Hey, that was stunning. Was that the slip or was that the icing?
It was a bit of both.
The Pootie,
The Pootie spin.
the Pootie spin 900.
It's really hard to say. That was stunning.
Whoa!